What's up, guys? Welcome to a live Q&A. It's been a while. Haven't done one of these in like a few weeks, so I apologize if you guys have been missing them. Definitely plan on getting them going frequently again. If you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and skip a couple minutes. I'm just letting people get in, so then we'll start with the Q&A. For those of you on the replay again, make sure you're check me out on Instagram at Matt Loberstein. I'm actually giving away a signed Tim Ferriss book, his new book right now. So go enter the giveaway on Instagram at Matt Loberstein. I'll close that up in probably a couple days. And yeah, same for you guys that are watching live, obviously. But yeah, welcome. What's up? What's up, Kieran, Trevor, Andre, Henshaw? What's up, guys? I'll just give everyone a minute to get in here, and then we'll start. Let me think what else is new in the meantime. Just been really busy myself. Got a lot of new projects going on, and Q4, so that's where my time has been. Definitely really excited to go extra hard on YouTube after the new year. Just super busy right now. I feel like I'm slacking a bit, so forgive me if I haven't been uploading super frequently or doing the Q&As, but yeah, I mean, I'd really like to increase the frequency of that. And yeah, just like a lot going on. Hope you guys are all killing it. And cool, see questions coming in. I'll give it another minute or so. As I said for the replay already, make sure to check me out on Instagram at Matt Loberstein. I'm giving away a signed Tim Ferriss book right now. So make sure you go over to Instagram and enter that giveaway. Trying to get more serious about Instagram as well. What's up? Again, just giving it a minute. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos lately. How many are we at? Let me see. 27. What's up, guys? Awesome. My lucky number is 27. Cool, guys. I guess I'll just get going. So let me just start with where we currently are in the chat, and then you guys can, just keep going, and I'll just keep catching up. But first one I see is, will you ever upload daily? I would love to. I would love to get to that point. I don't think I'll never do daily vlogs. That's too much. The vlogs take a lot of work, but I would love to have sort of like different content pillars, and then have it work out to be daily. For example, like say 3 vlogs per week, 2 live Q&As per week, like a podcast, and then like a quick little 3-minute video where I like break something down really quick. Like that's just made up, but something like that I could see eventually going daily. But yeah, never gonna daily vlog. It's too much. It's really, really a lot. Is it possible to sell mining rigs on Amazon? Because I got a lot of rigs. That's probably something you want to look more towards like eBay or Craigslist for, I would say. Not really it doesn't really fit the mold for an Amazon product. Do you do affiliate marketing? I never did until YouTube has branched me out into some new things. So now I am an affiliate for various software that I use in my business. I always have links in the description of my Amazon videos or of my YouTube videos to various software that I use, to my camera setup, stuff like that. So that's really like that's really my entrance into affiliate marketing. It's not what I do like historically. It's just what I've started playing with now that I have an audience. So something new for me. Kieran, are you involved with cryptocurrency in any way, and what are your thoughts on it? I wish I was more involved. I was really, really early. I bought crypto in 2012 or 13, but it was such a small amount. I was young and broke back then. I day traded until I lost most of it, and then it was just sitting. And so now that very, very tiny amount is worth like a little, but it's like I have basically nothing. I'm looking to play with it a bit more. I definitely believe in it in the long term, but I strongly believe that like there's so much bullshit right now, because you have to realize that like it's not a business. Like it is pure, and it's not even really investing. in the traditional way because it's not necessarily like a cash flow investment. So it's speculation. You got to realize that. But I think it's a very good speculation. So I love it. Like I said, I was in really early. My best friend was mining Bitcoin in like 2011. I just wish I had, put just a couple grand in back then, or even just not touched what I put in, because I put in like $600, which was like my only $600 when I was like, probably, I don't know, I was probably like 19, I was probably like 20 years old. And if I had just let that alone, it'd be worth a lot more. But instead, I tried to day trade, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I lost most of it. So I'm not heavily invested personally. I have very little. Elliot, this is something I don't see mentioned by people in the Amazon FBA space. After ordering product on Alibaba, is there an additional charge for freight forwarding? What's freight forwarding for? Yes, absolutely. Freight forwarding refers to shipping. So if you are ordering your product from the factory on FOB terms, that means that's the price in China. Now, if you're having them include shipping in the cost, then you're not going to have to worry about freight forwarding or additional costs. So either you have to talk to your supplier about including shipping or figure out freight forwarding. But really what freight forwarding is logistics. It's moving shipments around the world and getting it where you need to go. Have you tried building email lists? Very little. It's not my expertise. No, not. I need to get more serious about that. I don't go really heavy on email marketing as of right now. What do you think your next move will be after Amazon selling? So for those of you that don't know, I mean, I've been doing this all in for over 3 years. This was my only source of income for 3 years. And before that, I was already doing other forms of e-commerce, flipping, stuff like that. Now, of course, like I'm trying to branch out. I have entrepreneurial ADD, right? Like, especially after doing the same thing for 3 years, like I am very open to new things. Like I said, YouTube, affiliate, just building my personal brand. I definitely am trying to branch out into new things. So I think right now, like my next move is really just doing a lot of things. But then in the longer term, I would like to start a business that is more of like a passion project and something that I'll work on for like 5-10 years. That's kind of like a longer term next move. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, I'm still doing Amazon really hardcore. And then I'm doing like this stuff that you see me doing. And that's what I'm doing. But that's leading to a lot of new projects. Richard, hey brother, do you recommend ScratchOff Maps? I would have to dig into the research, but just look at the way that I talk about evaluating products, and yeah. Sammer, what's up, Sammer? How's it going? I'm paying my supplier literally right now, paying through Alibaba for the first time. He's saying $50 fee for trade assurance. Is that legit? I mean, they're probably just sort of tacking that on to deal with the convenience for them. Maybe it's a little bit of a hassle. It's definitely not something that's required through trade assurance, but they might just be like, it's like a convenience fee, right? So, I mean, you could try to negotiate that out, but, it might just be their policy, and, you can try, but yeah, definitely not something that's built in. No. How many products per month do you feel is possible? I assume you mean how many products can you add per month? I would say, like, honestly, on average, less than one, because the more products you have, especially if they are successful, they're going to tie up more cash flow as they begin to be successful. So, you want to add products at a pace that you can manage without overextending yourself too much to the point where you literally don't have cash to reorder your successful products. So, you need to do a balance. I would say 1 or 2 at a time, and only when you have the cash ready, that you're not gonna limit what's already happening with your first ones. Any issues with patented designs in the past? No. Is there a weight limit for FBA items? Not exactly, but there are oversized items which have different fees. So just search Amazon FBA oversized, or look at the fee breakdown right there on Amazon, and it's going to show you how items that are over a certain size and or weight will be processed differently. If it's small but heavy, then I believe it's just based on the weight as far as shipping. There's no there's nothing else going on there. I sent in a test OA shipment, online arbitrage, went live Sunday, sold out in 5 minutes, then got my account suspended. Is that normal? How long to get activated again? I mean, no, I would not say that's normal. Why did you get it? Why would you get it? What was the reason for you getting suspended? It's definitely not normal to get suspended. Max, what is your favorite product research method? So, are you talking about discovering ideas or how to evaluate? Because the way I see it is that discovery doesn't matter. You could find an idea anywhere. Literally, you could be at your grandma's house and pick something off the shelf and go search that and research it. What really matters is how you evaluate these products and figure out if they're actually good. So, there's no magic like type in this keyword upside down and backwards and then it spits out a magic product that is a $40,000 per month product. That is not the right way of thinking about it. What you need to do is just have anything lead into the funnel, but then the evaluation and narrowing it down into what actually makes sense and will be a good business. That's what matters. Ernesto, how long do you think it takes to get experience in e-commerce and how long until you make a decent income? It all varies. It depends on how much you risk, your product choice, but I would not, no matter what, do not plan on taking profit out for quite a while, because even if everything is going really great, you need to be reinvesting into growth or else you're dying. So don't just be like expecting to be able to take profits out very quickly. But, if you pick a great product, I think it can be running profitably very, very, very quickly. Now, that doesn't mean it's cash flow positive. That means it's profitable, but you're going to be actually cash flow negative because you're going to be reinvesting, right? So that means, like, hypothetically, you buy something for $1,000, you sell it for $2,000. That's $1,000 profit on paper, but now you go and buy $2,500 of inventory. So now you're minus $500 on your cash flow, which means you've actually invested even more, but you're profitable. You're just not cash flow positive. So cash flow positive takes a while. You should try to avoid that, or you should try to prolong that because you want to be growing. Richard, have you paid a supplier for the first time using wire transfer? Personally, I have. Now, I cannot advocate that. Of course, it's at your own risk, but personally, I have taken those risks. Some of my best suppliers only were willing to take wire transfer. I took the risk with a small order after talking to them for a while, and for the most part, it's worked out great. But really push for trade assurance. Now that trade assurance exists, that's a great method. That didn't exist until I believe maybe about a year ago. So that's tremendously great. Or PayPal. Any advice for affiliate marketing without a personal brand? So as I said, I'm not an affiliate marketing expert. My only taste of affiliate marketing is what I'm doing here with my personal brand. What I would say is that it's all about audience, right? I would argue this is the way business and media is changing in general, is that the real thing that is valuable is audience. So even if that's like around tennis, like say you love tennis or whatever, and you want to sell tennis products, well, what really is valuable is going to be having this audience that's around tennis. And then you could be an affiliate for tennis coaching, or you could do tennis coaching, or you could sell tennis products. So you have to build an audience of some kind. There's no quick hack, like spam your link all over the internet and then make $1 billion per minute. I mean, it's just not it's just not a business. So if it's not a personal brand, you still need to build an audience of some type. You don't need to be the face. It doesn't need to be you as the brand. It could just be building like a tennis media presence, right? Like a tennis Instagram or a tennis YouTube channel, whatever. That's a made up example, of course, but yeah. You mentioned in your previous videos you might be working on an FBA course. Can you mention any information on that? I don't want to put out officially yet, but stay tuned. Something really epic is coming. Where am I? It always jumps to the bottom. How does Amazon know it's your product when you start posting your product after ordering from Alibaba and shipping to Amazon? So you are going to create your own listing under your own brand name that you make up, and it's going to be tied to your own barcode that is your product's barcode. So it's going to be completely your own. Do you think it's okay to sell car stuff if your brand is a tool brand? You know, I'd have to look at it, but would the same people be interested? Does it make sense? It just needs to make sense as a whole, right? If you feel it's too unrelated, maybe you should just have a tool brand and a car brand. Sounds relatively unrelated if you're trying to have a strong brand with like a real focus to your brand. Should I incorporate offshore for tax and liability purposes? I have not. It is tempting and interesting, but as far as I know, it just seems to make everything immensely more complicated. So look, if you want to go down that route, there might be some advantages, but I have not. And as far as I know, it's just going to be a lot more work to figure that out. And it's really only going to be advantageous if you are at such a level, which means like, look, if you are creating some tech company that you think is going to be worth $50 million, then it might make more sense to do all of these weirder things. But if you're just trying to like, you know, build a 6-figure, even 7-figure business, it's probably not worth your time to figure out all those crazy loopholes. You can try to figure some out later, but don't let that hold you up. Jack, there was a private label seller from my area that was on the AM PM podcast. He sold a private label brand for $4 million. I want him to mentor me. How do I approach him? What do you think I could offer? Dude, that's a really interesting question because I'm in a position personally where I get people that are just like, hey, can you mentor me? And I would say that is not the way to get somebody to mentor you. It's not to be like, hey, will you mentor me? I just want to learn. So please, like, you know, take a job. I mean, basically, if somebody is agreeing to help you, like they're basically agreeing to like have a job for free. So the only really way to do it, in my opinion, is to basically either give him something of value that he needs, or to approach him in such a way that you can just become friends with him. For example, like now there are some people that I help them a lot, or I just meet up with them, or I just talk to them. And it's not because they messaged me like, hey, will you mentor me? It's because they somehow like got my attention in a natural way, and now they're just sort of friends, and then they can ask me questions. Now, the other way is if you really want somebody to mentor you, you can pay them, right? Like I do consultation calls, for example. You could tell that guy, look, I'll pay you this much money for this much time for you to help me in my business, and maybe he'll be open to that. But I think in general, like it's a tough one because I get a lot of messages, and it's like it's just a lot to ask of somebody, right? Like especially if he's someone in the public eye, like these people, they get a lot of requests, you know? So you have to sort of try to break through, and, you know, it may work, it may not. Oscar, what do you think about Amazon announcement on changing fulfillment fees? Haven't even seen it. They do it every year though. So I'm sure that it's just another little tweak to it, and it is what it is. But yeah, haven't seen. David, what are your upcoming plans for Q1? Is it a busy time for you as far as reorganizing after Q4? It's a little busy because I might place some new orders, but no, nothing crazy. I'm just trying to see where it stabilizes, right? Like obviously Q4 is big. So then seeing where my sales will stabilize, just kind of evaluating and going from there. Trevor, do any of your suppliers in China ship directly to Amazon without using your freight forwarder? No, I personally do not use that method. That is referring to like DDP, which is duties prepaid, shipping directly into Amazon. I personally do not use that method. I have tried it, but at my scale, I do not do that. For the purchase agreement, do you send them a file to sign, or you just agree on the Skype conversation and that's good enough? You have them send you a pro forma invoice after you have agreed by conversation, right? So you'll talk over Skype, and then they'll send you a pro forma invoice, which is basically like just an Excel sheet of an invoice that states what you're getting at what price. I don't really do any like formal contracts or signing, but I do have the record of the pro forma invoice, which for example, that can be uploaded to Trade Assurance for protection, or that could be inputted into PayPal for protection, stuff like that. Alex, thoughts on how to deal with Chinese New Year? If you guys don't know, Chinese factories shut down for a few weeks in February. I mean, you just got to deal with it. Like, I mean, I would say this ties into, in general, the way I feel about just, kind of like having a longer term vision. Like, look, if your business working or not depends on 3 weeks, that's not good. So, you should be able to think like 3 weeks is okay, right? That's going to put you in a better position. I would say it depends where you are in the process, but if you've 100% chosen your product, then right now I would just say try to get it shipped out before they go on their holiday. Now, if you're trying to place your order at the very end of February, that just means your order might be delayed by a couple weeks, and it is what it is. Jack, what are your favorite Tim Ferriss podcast episodes? That's kind of tough to answer because I never really like re-listen to podcasts, but I've loved so many. I mean, it's probably maybe my favorite podcast of all is the Tim Ferriss Show. I really personally liked the ones with Dom D'Agostino about like ketosis and all of that type of stuff. What else? I would have to look through the list to think. I mean, there's been like hundreds at this point, so that one comes to mind immediately. Yeah, I would have to take a look at the list, but so many of them are great. Let's see. Alex, I'm trying to compete with the same bundle as another person. If I have better images /listing/price, could I overtake them? They are the only one with this bundle and their images are crappy. If they're selling really well, yes. You just need to stand out in some way. And that could be as simple as your listing, your images, and your price. Now, obviously, the more you can do, the better, but that could work. Now, at the same time, in 3 or 6 months, somebody else might come in and do the exact same thing again. So keep that in mind. Sorry for the delay. Sometimes it jumps around and then I lose my place. Bryce, how do you feel about the Bitcoin Cash pump and dump on Coinbase? Let's just say I'll be checking that right after I get off this. How's it looking? What's the price? Sammer, 53 people in here and only 9 likes. Let's click the thumbs up for Matt. Yeah, I appreciate that. Seriously, hit the thumbs up, guys. Even if you're watching this on the replay, it really does help. I know, like, I hate to be the YouTuber who's like, hey, smash the like button. But as far as I understand, it really does help get the channel out there. And that's the one thing I would like for you guys to do in return if you're getting value from this is help me spread the word about this. Like, tell your friends that are also trying this, they're in the entrepreneurial world and, tell them about my channel if you like it. I would really appreciate that. Is it standard to design your own packaging for your FBA items? Thinking about things I've bought from Amazon, many of these have no branded packaging and come in a standard Prime box. So it's going to come in the Prime box. What you can customize is your product packaging itself. They're still going to ship it in a Prime box. But yeah, you should definitely think about doing custom packaging. It's a great way to brand your product, to stand out, to show that you are premium, all of that. So you should definitely be thinking about custom packaging, but understand that they're still going to ship it in Amazon packaging. It's just going to be like your package in a package. Nick, Matt, keep it up, bro. I definitely will. Thanks, man. Richard, when do you recommend start collecting state taxes? I would try to get set up in your home state relatively quickly after you begin selling. Once you see that it's really something you're going to be actually doing, right? That's when I would do it. Could I set up my account before I have my LLC set up? Can I change my account to fit the LLC later, or should I wait to start? Yes, what you said is exactly right. You can change it. Completely random. Should you invest into crypto? You have to understand that it is speculation, but I think it's a good speculation. Now, don't take this as financial advice or anything like that. I do think there could be a massive correction, but ultimately, I really believe in it in the long term. Like I said at the beginning, I bought really early on, such a small amount, and I was stupid with it. and I thought it was dead. I didn't think about it from 2014 until now, and it was just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And like now I'm like, great. Like here's like a tip in general about just business. This is just something I feel like I've really solidified in my brain in just the past few months. And I think this is a huge, massive tip. Like I'll probably make a video about this or in general, but like it's that everything takes longer to play out than it initially seems. Like so crypto had its first boom in like 2012. That was when I got excited and I bought some, and I thought it was so exciting, and it kept going up, and then it crashed and I didn't care forever. And it just felt like it was over. But now the reality of it is like these things have 5, 10, 20-year trajectories, right? Like, or even the same applies to Amazon. Like it seems like, oh, Amazon, is it dead? Is this going to work in 1 month? Like people thought it was too late when I started. So just realize that all of these things, they take a lot longer to play out than it initially seems. For example, like social media marketing. Like, will social media marketing still work in 2018? Like, dude, yeah. People are going to be helping businesses with social media marketing for the next 15 years or more until it becomes virtual reality marketing. But like these things take so much longer to play out than it seems at the beginning. Like it just seems like it might just go up and down, but it really is a long trajectory. So to tie that back into crypto, look, there could be a massive pullback, but I would just be excited this time for what's going to happen in 5 years. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, it's over. Whereas before I was thinking it's over, which was a huge mistake. I have a product that already exists on Amazon. It is clearly labeled as non-toxic, yet they are asking for a hazmat SDS sheet. Should I try to get the sheet from the manufacturer or liquidate it? How many do you have? How invested are you? You could potentially just, move on if it's not something you're serious about. But if you are serious about it, then it might be worth trying to get clearance for that. Brian, hey, I'm going to be in LA over New Year's. Do you know of any FBA meetups that weekend? I don't know of meetups that weekend, but pop into my Facebook group because we're always talking about casual meetups and stuff. So, feel free to make a post in there, and maybe you could even meet up with a few people, and maybe I can try to get there. We'll see, but I don't know of any happening right over New Year's now. Is Q1 a bad time to launch a new product? I once heard a seller say wait until March or April. That makes no sense, dude. It's obviously going to be better the sooner than later, because that way, like by April or March, then you can already have a little bit of traction. So the best answer is always as soon as possible, in my opinion. You should never wait. I've got a listing that's not ranking well at all. What is the best way to get it started ranking? Push PPC really hard and make sure your listing is actually converting. Mike, have you ever had a listing taken down due to it being prohibited? If so, what did you do? No, I've never had a prohibited product. I've never been in that situation. What do you use to collect sales tax? Tax jar seems pretty complicated if you have product all over the place. In my opinion, just worry about your home state for now. It's still such a gray area, and there's just so many changes coming in. So I use Avalara, which is really similar to tax jar. Either one will work, but for sure get set up in your home state, and you can figure out the rest later if you really get to scale and you are worried about that. Kim, hey, it's Matt, my favorite person in the world. Thank you so much for all your advice. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you like it. Mark, with all your videos explaining how to get into Amazon FBA, assuming you are not selling a course, what's motivating you to do videos? Aren't you just increasing your competition? So, I mean, look, Amazon as a whole is growing. There's plenty of opportunity. There's always opportunity to build a brand. And these videos are fun. They're leading to a lot of opportunities for me. Business opportunities and just social opportunities. So, I mean, there is money in it for me. Like there is ROI for me. It's leading to connections that are going to put me onto a platform to be able to launch so many new businesses in the future, have people that hopefully care about my content and are interested. Courses are a possibility. People ask me for that. I always had mixed views on it, but now I realize, like, look, people are asking for it, and people want the step-by-step. They want it through a particular person's lens. Like, sure, there's information out there, but you want the lens. For example, people pay to go to Harvard. You could just go read the textbooks, right? It's kind of like the info's out there. It's that you're getting it from a specific instructor in a specific way. I mean, that's kind of a tangent, but look, I'm making money off of consulting calls. I've made like, I made like $400 in the last 2 days in a matter of 90 minutes just off of consulting calls. So there are business advantages for me, and it's leading to potential partnerships. I would love to get to a point where I can invest in your businesses. For example, you guys always ask me questions. You're like, what do you think of this product? What do you think of this? Am I going to be successful? I would love to, rather than you pay me for consulting calls, be like, look, let's do a Shark Tank, right? Like a Matt Tank. We'll do like, give me a percentage of the business. I will advise you. Maybe I'll invest and I will get a percentage based on me helping you to grow this business. It's leading to stuff like that. It's leading to me speaking and meeting people. I'm doing affiliate marketing a bit. For example, I have links to software that I use that they give me a kickback if people sign up through my link to use the same software that I'm already using. I would never promote something I'm not using, but if I'm using it anyway, I believe in it anyway, and I want to recommend it anyways, then if I can get a cut from it, that's really cool. And then I also make money off of YouTube itself, which is honestly more than I would have ever expected. Like, I'm already making on pace right now, like I believe it is for the past 30 days about $800, which is not that much by any means, but it's still way more than I ever expected. So now I could easily see like, well, look, if my channel grows, if my views grow by 10 times, now we're talking basically making 6 figures just off of YouTube. And that is without even factoring in all the other income streams that come out of YouTube. So yeah, that was a bit of a tangent, but I hope that answers why. And it's fun. It's a ton of fun. I mean, this has been super cool. Like I said, I'm meeting people and engaging with people. It's just really cool. I've been building this Amazon business just like in isolation for 3 years. Like, I really didn't talk to anybody about this. I was really just in my own world, I barely knew what day of the week it was. What are your thoughts on net neutrality? Could it affect FBA, or if anything, Amazon will become a bigger beast? Look, I think net neutrality, I think you're talking about the end of net neutrality. I think net neutrality is a good thing. I think the end of it is not good. But that said, like, I am not nearly as worried about it as some people, because what I see, this actually ties in nicely to what I said about like things taking longer to play out than it seems, is it's not going to get that bad. Because here's the thing: if it got that bad, another competitor would come in and fix it. It's kind of like cryptocurrency fixing like banking that is all manipulative and stuff, right? It's like, it's just going to create an entrepreneurial opportunity. So I don't see it getting that bad. Look, could they do things that in the short term make it pretty annoying? Yeah, I mean, they could make you pay money they could make Amazon pay billions of dollars to have the speed be correct, but like, it's just all going to work out. I don't know. I don't really worry about stuff like that. It's going to fix itself in some way. And as for FBA specifically, I see nothing changing on FBA as a result of the end of net neutrality. Do you have a separate store for your brands, like a Shopify store? Yes, 2 of them. What are your favorite money lending methods to have capital for new products besides Amazon lending? So Amazon lending is number 1. Absolutely. That's the main one that I've used. I actually have a friend. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's fully live that I should put this out there yet, but I have a friend who has a $6 or $7 million Amazon business, and his background is in finance, has a master's degree in finance. He's actually creating a e-commerce lending platform. So if any of you guys are interested in an e-commerce specific loan and you're already selling, let me know and I can get you in touch with that company. I don't know if he wants me like putting that super out there yet, but so just contact me if you're interested and I can put you in touch directly. But that platform is going to be massive. It's going to be the next thing to Amazon lending, because Amazon lending is invite only, so that doesn't work for most people. Then below those 2, there's stuff like Cabbage, which is like a more expensive version of lending, but easier to get. Let's go about 5-10 more minutes, and that's it. I always make these longer than I expect. Andre, new to FBA, have some sales, but PPC seems to be overly expensive, $300 per day. How do you make your PPC campaigns more effective and maximize your results? So I would need to dig into this in your particular case. I would say, what is your overall sales? Because if it makes sense to keep running at $300 a day, then that's great. Now, if you're spending too much, then you might want to bid lower or lower your budget. You just have to be tuning it based on what's happening. Coinbase yeah, I'm not really sure, Bryce. Literally about to watch. Which coin do you think is going to crash though? Cash or regular? How do you optimize your PPC? By testing new campaigns, scaling up what works, and cutting out what doesn't work. If you want to customize the product packaging, do you inform the product supplier and hope they can do it, or do you search for suppliers and put the packaging all together? Both can work. I would start by asking the supplier what is possible. If they cannot do what you're hoping for, then you're going to have to find a separate box manufacturer, have the packaging shipped to the supplier for them to pack it. How long does it take to know if the product is successful or not? How do you know if you need to move on to another product? And did you ever want to quit, and what stopped you? So how long to know? I mean, it varies, you know. I would say you got to give it time, because sometimes they take off later. You know, some take off immediately, some take off in a few months, some take off in 6 months. I mean, you got to give it time to allow it to get traction in Amazon's system, right? But yeah, I mean, if it's just dead and not working no matter what, then it's probably time to move on to the new product. And did you ever want to quit, and what stopped you? Yeah, I mean, as I've said, like, I don't try to paint a picture like this business was just all amazing forever. Like, I've had definitely my ups and downs on the journey, and I never wanted to quit, because ultimately this is still like the greatest thing ever. But I definitely had times where I thought, like, oh crap, is this gonna work? But I didn't quit because I needed it to work. Like, it had to work. Would you recommend continuing a product with hope that some new competitors will fade away when they run out of inventory? Most sellers are new. I mean, I wouldn't count on competitors leaving. That's tough. So I would just evaluate it with the current marketplace. Mike, what are your thoughts on The Last Jedi? Haven't seen it. Anthony, if someone is selling FBA as a side hustle / part-time income, how far will retail arbitrage take them? Have you heard of instances when people actually make good profit from arbitrage? Yeah, it's absolutely possible to make money from arbitrage. Now, this is not my expertise. I don't do arbitrage, but there are people making significant income from it. The issue is that it's not really a scalable business. It's more of like a hustle, which in my opinion is great to build up capital to put into things that are more risk but more scalable upside, right? Like, hustling and reselling is basically no risk, right? Because you buy this thing that you can sell it. Now, when you get into a scalable business, you need to invest money, and you don't know for a fact that it's going to work. But the reason you're willing to take that risk is because there's more upside, right? There's repeatability and stuff. So, you know, anything retail arbitrage, drop shipping, affiliate, any of those things are great to build up capital and then use that capital to put it into something that can scale. Matthew, how much do you charge for a consulting call? Yeah, the link is in the description of all my videos. It is currently $125 per half hour, so $250 per hour. Just did my product research, have 10 products, some with low reviews, sell okay, some with no product differences between sellers but sell well. Which one would be the best to start as a product? I mean, you just have to evaluate what is the best balance of market opportunity and competition, right? It's like a balance. So wherever you can find what you feel is the biggest proportion of opportunity, that's where you should go. What's your email follow-up for the most reviews strategy? This has changed because Amazon has gotten a little bit more strict about what you can and can't say, how often to message your customers. So, you know, now it's pretty straightforward. I really just it's really just a matter of giving them some content that they need to know, maybe help them out in the first message, and then in the next message just being like, hey, we would love for you to leave a review. But you need to be careful of the way you word things. Sammer, can Amazon take over your listing and start selling on it? Sometimes I see a listing suddenly have Amazon as a seller hijacking it. Yeah, it's happened to people. I wouldn't worry too much. It's usually because some inventory gets labeled as unsellable due to like a damage, for example, and then Amazon basically buys it from you and then they may resell it. I don't really see it as happening as a really frequent issue or something that continues. It might just be like a short, I wouldn't worry about that too much. What do you think about Viral Launch's new product research tool? I've seen a few other YouTubers pushing it. Are they just trying to cash in on affiliate links? Well, I do think people try to make money on affiliate links, which is okay. Look, I think it's probably a good product. The reason I'm not putting it out there is because I haven't tested it. I don't know the price. I don't know exactly what it does. For me, I already have Jungle Scout, so I don't spend my day looking for a replacement for Jungle Scout. I already have it. It's not a good use of time to play with that. But whatever works. How do you get your product to gain traction on the Amazon system? So much of it is having a great product, a great offering, and using advertising to get sales, which will help it throughout the system. Please tell me how you launched your first product back then when that product was new in the market. I'm having the same situation here in India. That wouldn't be helpful to you because the rules were different back then. So back then I did do giveaways because they were allowed at the time. So back then I gave away like 100 or 150 units in the first day or two. And that really kickstarted it. But I did all the same things that I still do now. PPC day one, have a great offering, all of that. Cool, gonna hit these last two questions and then that is it. How long should I track a potential product before I move forward with talking to suppliers? Some products look promising, but I know Q4 is likely skewing results. Yeah, make sure you look at the BSR history to see how this item was doing before Q4, or at this point, look, you could wait a week and see how it does after Christmas. But I typically don't jump in super quick. Like I said, I take a more patient, long-term approach. So, I watch some products there are products on my list to do that I found 2 years ago. So I'm always looking for new products, and then whatever is the best on my list is the one that gets done first. So, you should always be watching them. How do you know when a product has traction? If it's profitable and it's selling really well. What is the minimum profit margin you'll make on a product? 30% before PPC. All right, thanks a ton, guys. If you are watching this right now live, make sure to follow my Instagram because I'm giving away a signed Tim Ferriss book right there. So it's at Matt Loberstein. Go enter on that photo and you can win a signed Tim Ferriss's new book, Tribe of Mentors. So yeah, go follow me and go. It's on that post. That'll end in like a day or two. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this within a day or two, then go ahead and go over and do that. If you're watching this in 3 months, then it's over. But follow me on Instagram anyways. Anyways, guys, take care. Hope you really enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing this again more. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go browse the previous videos, and I'll see you in the next one.